Hello everybody, and welcome back to Hollow Knight. This is episode 6 of the series so far. We are continuing on from where we left off last time in the Mantis Village, which we can't really see right now, the area we're in, just because there is no bench at the moment, and there won't be other than going back to the bench you see over there on the right, because this area is really closed off. They don't even like people taking a rest in their chairs if you're not a mantis or approved by the mantises. Down here there is a little bit of a yank. Try to beat one as fast as possible. Probably would have been better to defeat the flying one just because it takes less hits, but whatever. Over here is where the bench is, but if we get anywhere near this area, that guy blocks our way. So we're not allowed to rest in the Mantis colony right now. All we can do is defeat their people and get their approval later. Flying enemies. The bane of my existence. And I say that because in Silk Song, the game after this one, flying enemies just become a whole lot more difficult. Getting in here is a lot easier now. You don't have to worry about the spikes. You can just dash through here. And we want to just slide on down. Hit this, open this door here. And we want to keep going down. But we want to stick to some of the sides just because there's geocaches that we can pick up. And still be careful. Open up another door. Carefully so we don't take damage there. There's another guy here. And I'm just going to tank it just because it'll be easier than dashing into damage from the left or damage from the right. And we come down there is where the boss is, but we can just open this door so that it's easier to come in here this way. And we're just going to ignore that guy. Down here is the boss. And this is one of my favorite bosses in the game. It is, I would even say, the favorite boss of a lot of people that have played this game. There's other contenders, but this has to be one of the best ones. First of all, storytelling-wise, once you come to the center of the room, you do get the fight instantly. You get into the fight instantly. But I'd like to point out, there are 3 chairs there. But right above where I am looks to be what would be a 4th chair. And so visual storytelling is always fantastic. And I'd just like to point it out just because it'll come into vision later on in the game, storytelling wise. And over here is going to be the challenge. The Mantis Lords. Going to be a practice round for starters. We need to beat this guy, or this Mantis Lord. This is just a tutorial round. Just to teach you the mechanics of the fight. You want to, when she's throwing the circular blades, wherever she's standing on the wall is where the pattern of the blade is coming. If she's standing low on the wall, it's coming from below. And if she's standing higher on the wall, it's coming from above. You'll see what I mean in a second. She's been throwing it from below from the past couple ones. Like right here, it's still below. And this is from above. It's just slightly up from where she was before. And it's going to be the best point for healing when she's throwing from above. You'll see what I mean in the second round of this. This is the first round. We'll take this chance to heal up while the other two join. So the one repeats what the other one did before. So this one's coming from above. And right here is where you jump when they're up above. This one, you can stay in the center and you take no damage. So that's the one where you want to heal. Again, they repeat each other's moves. This one you have to dodge by jumping. At a certain point in the game, they start doing different moves themselves. They don't parody their own moves. This is the one where you have to jump. And this is the one where you can heal. Ah, I did it far too much to the left. And I did it again. Oh no. Oh. Oh, she spawned right at the edge. So you don't want to be standing on the edges, just because, right, like it showed right there. If you stand at the edge, they can't spawn there. But that's the Mantis Village right there. Go back. It'll be another example of the shade, as it's called. I kept calling it a different name before, but it's called the shade. Oh, this is too far up. Dodging all these enemies. There's no point in fighting them. Oh yeah, Quirrel shows up here after you come here the first time. So let's talk to Quirrel quick. Hello again. I suppose you've already met with the tribe of this village, hmm? They seem a little distrustful of strangers, to put it lightly. They're not broods, though, no. The sickness in the air that clouds the mind of lesser beasts, they resist it. They retain their intellect and their honor, though also their lethal traditions. I have some words of advice, my friend. If you plan to challenge the lords of this tribe, your blunted nail may prove inadequate. There is a city nearby, the old capital of Hallownest. I've heard a nailsmith resides there. Seek the old bug out, and find, and you may find progress that much easier. My own route takes me towards the great city. If you reach out if you search out the nailsmith, it may not be long until our paths cross again. Right, that's all he has to say. And we'll just skip through that. Go back down. And follow my own advice, making it easier to get through here. Now, come over here. Just get past these guys. While also getting some soul. Some money, I guess. And we come back to the Mantis Lords and challenge them once again. And just carefully dodge, attack, jump over, attack. You want to stay mostly near the center. Attack once or twice. Drop down, attack once or twice. That should have been a go below kind of angle, but whatever. You don't need to dash away from the sides all the time. Secure here. It's almost done. I'm gonna drop from above. Below, attack. Above, attack. Sideways, above, below. This is coming from above. I think a couple more hits and she should be done. There we go. Now the harder part. Careful spot to heal. Above, side. Slow one, you wanna... It's hard to tell which one it is. I've done it before, and it's my favorite spot to heal against this boss. But I guess I'm just not remembering exactly how to do it. And again, try not to be in the edges because they can spawn there. Try to stay near the center. Oh, I missed that dodge. There we go. That's the better time to heal, but timed it poorly. It's gonna drop from above, side. It's gonna be either side, above, side. Also, while you're healing, your head drops down a bit, so it might be a good spot for you to just dodge that way. It's gonna be from below, and it's done. Mantis Lords completed, and they bow to me, so I bow back. Threefold because there's 3 of them. That was the Mantis Lords. Fantastic fight, one of my favorites of all time. Now, if we come up here, up there and to the left, if I'm remembering right, there is a, what's it called? A lifeblood cocoon. Now what the Mantis Lords do here is that they're stopping enemies from this area from spreading into the rest of Hallownest. So the reason I wanted to come here first is because up here is our good friend Cornifer. This place gives me the creeps. Vicious little creatures burst out all over the place, and the passages are a dark, twisting maze. Unless you're well prepared, I'd urge you to leave. Though if you're feeling strong enough to descend, would you like to buy my map? Yes, I would like to buy your map. And he's only selling it for 38 bucks because he's only explored a couple little bits of the area. A good amount, but still just a small amount of the area. I talk to him. Whoa, what a horrid warren of angry beasts. It's going to take a whole lot of effort to climb out of this dark pit. I think I'll hide here for a little longer. And I believe that's all he has to say. Yes. Our buddy is afraid, but understandable. This area sucks. I can't make fun of him for it. I knew that. And that's all we wanted to do in this area. For now, at least. We want to get a couple other things before we head this way, including the Lumafly. Hello, Mantis Lords. Goodbye. It was great knowing you. Great fighting you. And now, because we beat the Mantis Lords, all the other mantises aren't enemies, and you can go through them without taking hit. Also means we can come this way. And in here. This guy no longer blocks the gate from us. Meaning we can enter here and sit at the bench. Brand new area unlocked. That's not all. You can also come up here and raid their treasures. Get the Mark of Pride, one of my favorite charms in the game. I've not mentioned this before, but the way I play the game is very Unga Bunga, aka I smack with club. I just like attacking. I'm not very much of a spell user. My favorite thing is just smack the living hell out of the enemies that I fight. Making the Mark of Pride one of my absolute favorite items, just because it greatly increases the range of the bearer's nail, allowing them to strike foes from farther away. It increases my range, therefore making it less likely that I'm going to get hit by an enemy when I'm trying to attack them. This is huge. The range we have is now insane. And put this together with some of the other charms that we can get, just makes it so much better. Now, leaving here, we really want to go to a couple specific areas. But first, let's come this way so that we can leave the village from a different direction that we haven't gone to before. This is also the first time that we see this little tree here. That'll be dealt with later on. Picking this up here. Wanderer's Journal. This, along with the other thing we picked up in the Mantis Village, I haven't read yet. The Wanderer's Journal. These two items, or the items that are in this row, are all sellable items. So they're not really meant to be anything other than extra cash once you get into the City of Tears, which is the capital of Hallownest. So one of the next areas that we'll be going into. It says, a journal left behind by a long-dead traveler. The words are written in a forgotten dialect and difficult to understand. Relic from Hallownest's past. This item now holds little value except for those dedicated to the kingdom's history. And then Hallownest Seal. Official seal of the Kingdom of Hallownest, symbolizing the authority of the king and his knights. And it's the same little blurb at the bottom that it's only for selling for specific people. But over here's the Mantis Claw. We haven't read this yet. Claw carved from bone. Allows the wearer to cling to walls and leap off of them. Oh, another thing I didn't mention before. Now, down attacks are much easier because the range is bigger. Coming this way. I don't believe we need to come this way, or we can even do much in this direction. Yeah, we can. We need the Monarch Wings, or the double jump, as it is technically. Coming this way. We've already been here, and this is the bottom of the area from where we came through last time. Over here leads to where Cornifer was before. Skipping past all that. We don't need to fight any of these enemies right now. Cornifer is no longer here. If we want, we can read his letter here, telling us to go buy from his wife. And Dirtmouth. So we make our way back up. Now that we have the Mantis Claw, we can come over here to the right, which is where we didn't come last time. And that's simply because, first of all, in this area, we can't get up here very well unless we have a way to get up here, which is the Mantis Claw. There is also a lot of these guys that shoot blasts of explosive things at us. And this is all just for a Hallownest Seal. It's really not worth it to come up here, but I'm still showing you it anyway. Continuing on, coming this way. It's just a bunch of little enemies here that we can fight. Not necessary to fight them again. You just really skip them. And then over here to the right. Ah, I messed it up. You want to jump from below here to get this. And it's just a regular Wanderer's Journal. Really not really worth the pogoing, but done anyway. If we come up here and go to the right, not that necessary of an area, but we'll go through it anyway. This would have just been the way to come across that lever if you didn't come from above. We didn't make the trek like we did this time in the previous episode. We would have had to come this way originally. And it's just a bunch of these mushrooms blocking the way. Not a whole lot of stuff to pick up here or to worry about, really. Pretty sure there might be some hidden thing somewhere around here, but I'm not remembering it perfectly. So let's just quickly get these guys just to show you the area. Past that guy, not necessary. And right here is, like I mentioned, the lever that we got earlier. See it right there. Up there to the up to the right is the bench where Leg Eater was, where we could have bought those charms, those fragile charms. And I just skipped this whole area because it wasn't really necessary. Actually, I believe over here to the right. I believe this is something. I don't remember exactly what it is. I will try to remember later on. Carefully dashing our way back. Our way back to Queen Station, where we can pick up another Master Shard. Doing some careful parkour. We can pick up our second Master Shard. And if you remember, the first one that we got was from the Grubs. There's this guy here. Up here, there's some stuff that you can pick up. I believe it's a rancid egg. But we can't do that because we don't have the Monarch wings. I forgot to mention that in the previous episode. Take a rest. Take a gander at our map. We have most of the village here checked out. There's an area down to the left below Queen Station, if you noticed, that we can go into. I don't think we'll be going there this time, but we will next time. And if we look at the other bigger map, we can also take a gander at how Deepnest attaches to the areas as well. We will be going to Deepnest in a bit, but before that, I want to get another item. And it's over here to the right of the Forgotten Crossroads. So there's a lot of mobility items in this game. There's 4 of them, and then some upgrades to those, specifically to the Mothwing Cloak, like I mentioned before, the Shade Cloak, and it'll be very important for us to get all 3 that we can right now, which is the Mothwing Cloak, the Mantis Claws, and the Crystal Heart, which lets us traverse long distances. And that is because I want to show you something really cool that is very difficult to do later on in the game. And if you progress too far into the game, some things change and some routes get closed off in the map, in the maps of the game. So it's easier to do it before you get to a certain point. So getting as many of these progression abilities or map traversal abilities is fantastic for that. And just after doing all this, I think it's best to go to Dirtmouth to buy our Lumafly, which is going to be important for progression. And for getting the things we need to get. Does Elderbug have anything new to say? Oh, what a return. Our shopkeep's come home. Just wandered back in. I'd hoped for grand tales of his time below, but he seems to remember almost nothing. Maybe it was all too much for him. If you're interested in his wares, watch out. He drives a hard bargain, that one. No competition. That's the problem. It's bad for the market. Not that he's complaining. Did you visit that temple? A strange building, I've heard. Though I'd never dare to gurney myself. The braver among us once went there to pray. Said they felt at peace within the walls. After a while, they stopped going. I wonder what changed. Hallownest's great capital is what most of you brave types come to see. Thinking to loot its treasures, I suppose? It must be brimming with them. The city's right at the center of the kingdom. Though I've heard the gates are sealed, so gaining entry can be difficult. It'd be a rich bug that could return with even a fraction of the wealth inside. Despite my age, I've only seen few who've managed it. Most must say something of the dangers about its streets. Yeah, and that's all he has to say for the new things that he's done. Coming into Fly's shop, we can, or not Fly's, Sly's. We can get the Lumafly lantern. It was 1800. Ooh, I almost came here without enough money. Now we have some leftover money. Looking at these items, I'm tempted to get the mask shard. It's only 150, so I think I will get it. Give ourselves a 3rd mask shard. And he'll sell a 2nd one. I think he only sells 2 of each of these, maybe 3 of each of these, depending on what portion of the game you're in, I think. And I think, do we need a 5th mask shard? Or a 5th mask, I mean? Do we have anything we need to buy? I think I'd rather buy some more of the pins here, which each costs 100. So we'll get the Stagway pin. And pick up one of these markers, just so it's easier to show you guys things on the map. Oh, what the heck, let's just buy as much as we can from her. Buy some lifeblood. Conch. Hot Springs, which is basically useless. And get the last shell marker.
Bapanada.
Okay, and then does she have anything new to say? No, she doesn't. And we will end off the episode here. Coming onto the bench, let's take a look at the Lumafly lantern. Crystal lantern containing a Lumafly. Brightens dark caverns so wanderers can find their way. It's going to be very useful in a bit. And looking at... First, let's hover over these so they get the little mark turned off. Okay, so we can now put pins on here. And so the areas that we want to check out right now are up here. Into the right. We want to come up from below. So over here. Going this way. Before, when we came this way, we couldn't progress farther because we were blocked by not having light. Technically, we could have gone through, but it would have been a righteous pain in the butt. And then later on, what I want to do after that is come through this area here. And that'll be going into a new area apart from the Fog Canyon, which would be the Queen's Garden, I believe it's called. But that is after a couple things that we'll have to do in the capital. So we'll be coming this way as well. We can now progress into the capital, but we won't be doing that. We'll first be coming into the crystal mines before we go into the capital. And that'll be all in next episode. We're starting off in the next episode. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. And I hope it's helpful to anybody that's playing the game. And I hope you'll later on, that's a lot of hoping, but I hope later on you'll enjoy what I have planned with the things I'm trying to do here, that I'm setting up. Thank you for everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys next time in episode 7. Bye-bye.